Hi, welcome to VRLO 8 in association with Rewind at 8 Northumberland Avenue. It's been brought together by Rewind, obviously, Blue GFX, Blend Media, Immerse.org.uk, AMD and Epic Games. Well, I think you said it's going to be the biggest yet, and it pretty seems to be. There's 2 floors and a third one with all the round tables, so it's pretty amazing.
It's been fantastic. I mean, we started this, as you know, with a very small community based around a meetup. And then as the community's grown, and actually as the VR and immersive industry's grown, VRLO has kind of taken shape and grown with it. So we're now at 1,500 members, and this venue can hold 800. We had 22 exhibitors, and we had 9 round tables hosted by some amazing industry leaders. And it's just been phenomenal to see what's been going on in the last 3 or 4 months.
Do you think, it's indicative of where the industry is now, where we don't want to see so many talks, we are actually now wanting to have discussions around a table, because it seems to work really well.
Yeah, I think for me, a lot of the presentations can be very samey, and when you've got a set of people talking about the same subjects, here's how I made a project, and there's not much depth behind it, but all of us have a burning subject that we need to talk about. Some of it's funding, some of it's ethics, some of it's editing, some of it's will AR kill VR. So putting people together in little groups and just letting them have that moment to talk to each other, to really get under the skin, is pretty interesting. I think the real thing is that the industry is growing up. We talked about it a little before, but grown-upping seems to be a term that be banding around a little bit these days, because we all have been kids, and the industry has now gone into a point where I think we're about to really break through.
Yeah, I'm sensing that as well. There seems to be a kind of a revitalised feeling about AR and MR and VR and everything. I mean, the Apple announcement, you mentioned it in your opening talk there. How excited are you about the Apple AR Toolkit?
The AR, I have to eat a fruit-based hat, because I had a small bet that they would bring out a VR device last year, which, it didn't quite happen, so it's fair enough. But the reality is, with AR Toolkit, there's a bit of worry that it's going to kill VR, and it really isn't. What it really is a stepping stone, and in fact building a bedrock of consumers that understand that a window like this in front of them shows them another reality, mixed in real time, so it changes and adapts. And you can see that tens, if not hundreds of millions of people overnight will suddenly become AR enthusiasts. And once you've gone from this, it's one step to go to this. I think early adopters have bought into headsets very swiftly, but the VR industry is still a step too far for mass adoption. So we need 2 or 3 years to really embed ourselves and get mass adoption moving. And I think that AR Toolkit is one of those key tools, actually.
Magic Butterfly, what's all that? It looks pretty stunning on the visuals over here.
So the Welsh National Opera is a beautiful piece where we basically motion capped one of their opera singers and brought them into a real-time world using the Daydream that allows you to have this never-before-seen view of a performer. All these butterflies basically form her body, and she sings and moves around you. And it's actually now installed, and it will be installed for the next month outside the Welsh National Opera, and then going on tour for a whole year. So we're really proud of that. The other things that we actually are showing is we're showing Ghost in the Shell VR. That came out in April. We're really happy to have created something which is Hollywood. So a Hollywood VR vignette, taking the best thing of one of their movies and distilling it into a real-time experience where you have some interactivity and you basically embody her and go through one of their crazy scenes.
Wow. Can you guys make a virtual reality version of Blade Runner? I was reading about it this morning. I know the film's coming out next year. Yeah. Please make it. That's my ultimate fantasy, to live the Blade Runner dream. Some guy's doing it in his bedroom, but
I'm sure you're going to be impressed with what may or may not happen.
But last 2 questions. VR for good. We didn't mention it last time. There was a discussion about VR and ethics and everything, positivity. Can you give us a quick description of what that initiative is?
Yeah, so there's so much energy around using VR outside of media and entertainment and marketing and medical, but using it to really change perceptions. So we've seen some amazing work we've done with NGOs and for non-profits to help people. Greenpeace are doing stuff, charities based out in Somalia are doing things. So really changing people's views on the world. And I wanted to do more of that work, but as a small business, you can't take on the weight of a whole project yourself. So we created VRtogether.org, launched it a few months ago to really bring together companies like mine and other friendly companies that I'll volunteer the time to shoot it, you volunteer the time to make the app, you volunteer to do the post. We'll join together to make this content for things that should be made. So experimental, R&D, charitable work, and it's really a lovely movement to be moving forward and be part of something which we're trying to do the experiments that should be made.
On a final cute note, I was on the news of the day and I put in 360 for some research and out popped Rewind.
The local St Albans Council asked us, they've got this beautiful 14th century clock tower outside our office. It's gorgeous. The clock dings every hour and basically is how we run our entire day. But at the top of the tower, the stairs get so tight and small that a lot of people can't make it to the top. So basically we just capture the 3 floors of the tower and allow anyone from the bottom who can't fit up there or isn't fit enough to go to the top to put a headset on and experience what it's like at sunset. So it's a really nice opportunity.
Hollywood to St Albans, love it.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, thank you so much, Solomon. So check out VRLO 9 when it's announced on the Meetup and Eventbrite as well. I'm now going to look at some of the exhibitions around here, and I've seen some pretty interesting things already. So thank you so much, Solomon.
My pleasure.
So on here it says 3D audio and immersive sonic realities. There's a lot of news about binaural audio, spatial sound. What's different about this?
So this is based on our invention of what's known as a sonic reality engine. So we've kind of created a model which simulates sound as though it were in the real world, rather than trying to emulate it. And so that gives you a better sense of space, distance, elevation, and it sounds more realistic than a lot of the other engines.
So just give me a little bit more detail about what the difference is. So, for example, something like the Facebook 2 Big Ears system, what's the difference?
Okay, so they use an emulation technique which is based around a virtual room. So there's a virtual room with virtual speakers in it and a virtual listener, you, with the virtual microphones at the ears. So what you're hearing is what those microphones are hearing coming off the speakers. Whereas in ours, what you're really hearing is the sound being emitted from a sound source in a space and arriving to your ears directly. So without that kind of virtual processing in between.
Will I sound clever if this question makes sense? Does this in any way use the principles of, I completely forgot already, head dynamic transfer function or something like that? Is that a relevant question?
Head-related transfer function. No.
Oh, all right.
Okay. So but basically, all the other engines are dependent on what's known as a head-related impulse response database.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, right. So that tells you how the head-related transfer function works. But actually, we don't need a transfer function because we're not transferring energy from the speakers to those microphones, right? We're taking the energy direct from the source to the ears. So we have a different approach, but it was a great question.
Thank you very much. So people can go to the website, which we'll put on the screen now. But so as a VR, MR, AR developer, when can they get going? How does this integrate with existing platforms?
Okay, so at the moment we're in development for, we're building a software development kit, which will then be a direct plugin for Unity, Unreal, CryEngine, 4V, etc. for all the world building engines. And you'll drop it in and attach a sound to an object, and our engine will work out how that sound should sound given the spatial dimensions. So it democratizes the process of sound design in VR.
Right, and sorry, did you say it is out now, or you're working?
I know, it's about 9 months away.
9 months away. Thank you so much. Thank
You're
you,
welcome. Thank you.
Stefan Donnell from a company called Live. You were just telling me you were a Twitch user, created something, and now you're offering it to other people. What is going on here?
So this is kind of a social mixed reality compositor. The whole point here is to be able to share VR experiences with the people around you. It's very explicitly for spectators. So this whole thing with VR being a personal experience, it's not really... This is a fixable problem, and this is the solution for that. And I've had great success on my own Twitch channel, and it seems a shame not to have everybody else using it.
So if somebody is a YouTuber or a Twitch user when they live stream this stuff, or even a VR developer or development studio, what are they getting? What have you created that's unique to this, and what will they benefit from? I know we can see some footage here of a guy chopping up.
Yeah, so the unique thing is the ability to composite this stuff real time and correctly. So you can produce mixed reality footage in post, but doing it live and doing it well is very difficult to do. There's a lot to consider. Which is really what the unique offering here is. It's just the ability to get up and go with no configuration and kind of takes all the pain out of it. Previously, you need to be a developer to make this stuff happen.
I suppose in theory, could you put a tracker on a camera and then do movement in this system, as long as it was evenly lit at the back?
Yes, actually, the whole system is built with that in mind. In fact, I have to use a fake virtual tracker that doesn't move to get this static setup working. So it's actually just built straight up into it.
Okay. Great. So if people want to find out more, how will they do that?
They would go to mixtra.live, that is mixtra.live.
Thank you very much. I'm glad I grabbed you because it's been really hard to grab you. Look, perfect timing.
Oh, awesome.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hi, so I'm now here with Michael Ogden, who's the creative director of VR at the Third Floor Inc.
That's right. So we're looking to make highly interactive, participatory experiences, and what we're showcasing today is a game that we made internally called Mad Factory, and Mad Factory is our key goal in making it was to make something replayable, because when we speak to a lot of clients and they're like, well, we can make this VR experience, but people will play it once and then it's done. So we wanted to make something that was replayable, that was addictive, that was competitive, that it was social, and so that people would want to play it again and compete with their friends.
So it's only a 2-minute experience, so how variable can it be after just 2 minutes?
You'll see. Well, in fact, it's a strategy game because you're beginning to learn how you can multitask. But for us, it was a way to prove our core mechanics. I mean, we're learning how to, each of our prototypes that we're doing are exploring a different genre of game and a different genre of mechanics, and then we're skinning that in a compelling, coherent way so that we can share it with the public and come to events like VRLO and say, this is something that we made, and then we can also take this to clients and say, look, this is something that you can enjoy, but you can also skin it in using your own IP. And so Mad Factory is conveyor belts and picking things up, and it's kind of a bit madcap, but you can also apply that to a lot of other kind of animated entertainment that you can imagine that you may have seen in the multiplex.
One of my favourite things still, I know it's getting old now, is in the lab, the massive sort of swing shot thing you call that. The physics of that is amazing.
So VR can be great as content, but also as a design tool.
Wonderful. Well, thanks so much for your time, Michael. I shall let you go back. Look at the state of the queue over there.
A huge crowd. It's been.
I know. Hi, I'm now here with Anna Staliova, who's the co-founder of Dual Good Health. What is going on here? We've got a mannequin, somebody wearing a Vive, and some HTC trackers on them.
Well, it is virtual reality training for CPR and life support. So we're teaching people how to save lives.
Just saving lives, nothing major. So how exactly are you doing that though? Because I can see some kind of data appearing on the screen. So what are you measuring?
So we're measuring chest compression rate and depth, which is really crucial when performing CPR. So we can measure the accuracy, how they're performing that, and we can also measure the steps that they take when resuscitating people.
And how accurate is it? So with the Vive tracking and the physicality of a model, how scientific is this?
It's accurate as up to 1 millimeter, so it's pretty much scientific. Yes, it's pretty much accurate.
And where are you hoping to take this? Is this quite new? Are you looking at taking this to hospitals, schools, training, for medical training? Where are you going to take this system?
Well, we're exploring different markets, but yes, we are hoping to take it to medical training furthermost, and potentially first aid training as well.
Wonderful, thank you so much. So I'm now here with Matt Stuttard from MSFX, is that right?
Yeah, that's right, hi.
.com. So you've got guys over here doing all this. That's because you are one of the 5 finalists for the Rewind AMD HTC contest.
Yeah, that's right.
So what is Donut Distraction?
So Donut Distraction it's a game where you're an elephant, so you have this big floppy trunk, and you're in a circus environment, and you've got cannons all around you firing giant donuts literally like this big at you, and you've either got to catch them on your trunk, destroy them with your trunk, which is why the guy behind was going like this, or you've got to dodge them, so you can't let them touch your trunk.
So it's like fun, addictive game style. Would you say works best in VR? I'm not saying there's a place not for both, but do you think that's
I think
fun
short,
fact?
snappy fun is really great. I think it's more sociable. There's been a lot of people playing this tonight that they've played it for a couple of minutes and then been and they've ripped the headset off before I've had a chance to even speak to them and said to their mate, try it, and that's really flattering. That's amazing, because that means that's the right genre. I think short and sweet is great, and that's also kind of for arcade games and fun kind of family games,
Finally, you've been a VR developer for a few years. As a freelance VR developer, what's your thoughts on the market right now? Is it competitive? Are you getting plenty of work in? Are the rates still good?
As a contractor at the moment, it's the market's the market's screaming for more people. That I think, I don't want to label people as cowboys, but I've had clients who have then phoned me or my friends and said, they did this and that and it doesn't work, can you help? So I think because there's so many jobs and not enough developers right now, it is a great space to be in. There's a lot of money there, obviously, because people are throwing everything at it. But I think there's caution with that too. If you put all your eggs in one basket with just VR, maybe when AR does come along, you'll be suddenly swept aside.
Have you been experimenting with the Apple AR Toolkit?
Yes.
What are your thoughts on it?
I really freaked out some people on a train this afternoon on the way to London, walking up and down the aisle trying to...
Have you got it here?
On a portal thing. I'll show you in a bit. AR kit's amazing. Well, it's really good. There's a few things, but it's really good. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much.